Most skinny guys think that results come from the perfect workout program, the perfect diet, or some secret supplement. But it's actually much, much simpler. So you want this. You want the results. You want the muscle. I'm going to draw a quick arm here. You want to look good from, obviously, the muscle. You want to be strong. Let me draw a bench press here. That's a pretty good drawing there. You want to be strong. You want to look good, the muscle. And you want the confidence and the respect from the people around you. And that comes from building the physique, obviously. These are the results that everybody wants, but honestly, hardly anyone gets there. People always work out. They start the workout and they never actually understand how to reach their results. So this is the equation that we can use to boil it down. Like this equation is literally all you need to get jacked, to get strong, to get to the physique you want to. Now, actually, I just realized it's not the full equation, and I'm going to add times t at the start here, but we're going to ignore that for now. First of all, we need to talk about these two i's, I1 and I2. What is I1? I1 is identity. Now, let me talk about this first. What is identity? Identity is basically who you are and your belief systems. That's what it mainly sums down to. So who you are right now, if you're watching this video, you're most likely either a beginner in the gym, I'll just say beginner, or you've been working out for a while but you haven't made any progress. No P. That means P for progress. You haven't made much progress, you're probably skinny, and you probably have some limiting beliefs inside of you and you don't, for example, you might not work out every single day. Inconsistent. And there's probably a lot more other things that are inside your brain that you don't realize. Like, you probably have doubt that you can reach the physique. You have doubt that you are capable of it. You probably blame your genetics. You have all these limiting beliefs and it makes up who you are. So what we need to do is destroy this identity of being a beginner, not making progress, being skinny and being inconsistent, and all these other negative beliefs that you have inside of your brain that are effectively stopping you from getting to where you want to. I'm going to explain this in more detail in a minute, but the first step to getting jacked is basically switching your identity from being, this sounds harsh, but who you are right now, being skinny, being inconsistent, and switching this into a new identity of it. You know, I'm going to make a new slide so it doesn't get too messy. But here you are now, you're a beginner, and you need to go and become an athlete, right? Not sure why I got messed up there. But if you want to get strong, you need to be not training like who you are right now. You need to be training like you already have the physique. You need to be training like you're an absolute machine, and like you absolutely you need to give everything you have in your workouts. And obviously just stick to what your workout is and stick to how hard you're supposed to be training, which should be to failure if you want to get jacked, I should say. But sticking to your program is what an athlete would do. So you need to have the identity of an athlete, and you can do this by basically believing you're an athlete. Now, it sounds stupid, but that's what you need to do. You need to adopt the identity of somebody who never skips workouts, even when tired. So even when you're like, I don't know, I've had a bad day, I'm really sad, I'm really angry, and you don't actually want to do the workout, but you still do it anyway, and that will get you to your muscle here, that muscle. And you need to not doubt yourself. Not doubt. Excuse my just awful handwriting, you probably can't even read that. You're gonna have to eat enough, stick to your eating, stick to your diet, and basically just an athlete would do everything that's right. And you need to become an athlete, you need to become this person. So, going back to my equation here. This is the first I. First I is identity, and we've sorted that out. Let me just we can't do this. Let me just restart this new page. Alright, so we've done the first I, which is identity. Now I'm gonna leave this for a minute because I'll explain what that is in the end, which is that is supposed to be a T. The second I is your inputs. This video is gonna sound extremely obvious, but this is all you need to get jacked. And I promise you, if you just stick to this, if you just stick to what I'm gonna say in this video, you will get to where you want to go. So, inputs. What are your inputs? Inputs are basically the actual work and actions you do to get to where you want to. So, inputs, what are they going to be? They're going to be, obviously, working out. There we go, working out, whatever. I'm not even going to write the words anymore because I cannot write with a mouse. So, working out, eating clean and eating specially enough. Eating E. There we go. So, your gonna be wanting to eat, if you're skinny, large portions of food. Like this is quite clearly a bowl of rice with, I don't know, a steak on there and a chicken. And you're not going to be wanting to just eat this, you're going to be wanting to eat bread, a whole loaf of bread. Okay, maybe don't do that, but basically what I'm trying to say is you're going to have to eat a lot if you're skinny. Here's a bowl of yogurt with some granola and some bananas. Here's a fried egg. And yeah, so that's one input. So we got working out, eating. What else are your inputs? Obviously sleeping well. You're going to be wanting to get at least 8 hours of sleep. I would genuinely say at least, okay, bare minimum 8 hours in bed, but you want, like, sleep is one of the most important things. And if you're under 25, you should be getting at least 8 hours because your brain actually doesn't stop developing until you're 25. That's obviously not even anything to do with the gym, but I just want to say that as a little fact. So sleep, working out, eating correctly, and then all the other recovery habits. So I can't really go too in depth in this video, but obviously it's just the basic stuff. Eating supplements if that's what you're into, going on walks for your cardio, and just maintaining all other areas of health to recover to your best of your ability. Because in your rest days, you don't want to be stressing yourself out too much. You want to have low stress. So you want to be happy, you want to go on walks, you want to eat supplements, and basically just recover the best you can. But now we need to think about this tea. Now, I'm going to make another slide for tea. Tea, right here, is the most important factor. By the way, this equation doesn't just apply to the gym, it can literally apply to genuinely anything in your life. For example, this YouTube video and this YouTube channel, I'm using this equation now to build a following online. So I have the identity that I am somebody who can get progress, can make results, can become a big influencer. That didn't really make much sense, sort of messed on the words there. But I have the identity that I am this person, and then I'm doing the inputs, which are making YouTube videos. Well, actually that's the only input for a YouTube channel, but making YouTube videos. Also, I want to go back to this. So it's I times I, right? For example, if you are this person who is skinny, who is inconsistent, who is all this stuff, and you have all these limiting beliefs, they're going to keep you stuck. So pretend it's on a scale of 1% to 100%. 100% being having the most optimal mindset ever and just believing fully in yourself and fully being believing you are fully capable of getting to your result. If you have a mindset of, say, 10%, so you are somebody who thinks, yeah, it's not really that possible, I don't know, I just don't really stick to working out, got a little double chin there, but you're probably skinny if you're watching this video, so maybe this is you. There we go. So you're this little guy and you don't really take working out that seriously, and you do want to get really jacked, but you don't believe it's possible, you're inconsistent, and you have the identity of somebody who just doesn't work out properly and isn't actually that committed into their working out. So your identity meter, I guess, is at 10%. And if you go back to the equation, that's just confusing. If your identity is 10%, then you're going to get 10% of the results from your inputs. If that makes any sense. That does make sense. So if you're at 10% of your thinking capacity, you're not going to be working out hard in the gym, you're going to keep skipping your workouts. So basically, your identity meter is just a reflection of how well you do your inputs. And then obviously your inputs is actually doing it. So if you have a low identity meter, you're going to, first of all, probably not do your inputs, but then second of all, do your inputs badly. But on the other hand, if you have a 100% identity meter, then you're going to do them really well. You're going to work out really well. You're going to eat clean, be consistent in your diet, bulking. You're going to sleep well, value getting to bed on time and not scrolling, doing those bad habits before bed. And then you're going to cover well. You're just going to do optimize everything you can to get to where you want to be. That's supposed to say 100, that doesn't look like 100. Yeah, so that's if you believe in yourself and just basically are the person with the identity of an athlete instead of a beginner or somebody who doesn't work out well. So that's what you need to do, get the identity of an athlete. Now, sorry, I completely went on a tangent there, but if we come back to T, if you can take a guess at what T is, I'll be very impressed. But T is TI, can you guess now? Sorry, I don't know what it is. But T is time. If you do both of these things, you believe in yourself very much, and you also take serious inputs into where you want to get to, so obviously working out and all the other stuff, if you do that for one day, what's going to happen? Are you going to get your result? Are you going to get the muscle, the physique, the strength, the whatever? No, you're not, because that all happens with time. So if you just do it for one day, you're going to get a nice workout, you're going to get a pump, and you're going to feel pretty good. But then if you do it for maybe 1 year instead of consistently executing, consistently believing in your ability to get to where you want to, obviously you're going to make way more progress, because time, like getting jacked and stuff, is not a quick process, but it's not always like the slowest process, because I think some people on social media do portray it to be way longer than it actually does take in reality. But that's the last thing in the equation, and honestly, this equation is how you actually achieve anything. Time times identity times input equals results. But I do want to say the two things that you can control are identity and inputs. But which one do you think is the most important? Obviously, it's your inputs. So if you can do anything, just maximize your inputs and be consistent with them. But once you are consistent with them, then maximize your identity, because once you have a good identity, say 80% identity level, you're gonna be if you start at 40% and you go to 80%, you're gonna be 2 times as effective. I mean, it might actually not work like this in reality, but you are going to push harder and therefore make more results. Yeah, so if you want to get the result, maximize your identity, maximize your inputs, and basically just wait, because then it is genuinely inevitable. If you have a good mindset, if you have the right identity, and if you have the right inputs, you'll get the results if enough time elapses. But I do want to say, if you think you have a great mindset and you are staying consistent with the gym, you probably need to iterate what you're doing in the gym. You need to change some of the stuff, because obviously if you say you've been working out a year consistently, probably every single day or something, and you realize you believe in yourself and you thought you had a good workout program, and you didn't actually achieve the result, it's probably because your inputs were not, I say optimal, but I'm going to make a video about this, optimality, because being optimal isn't always optimal. You can watch the video once I release it. But anyway, if you haven't achieved the result and it's been enough time and you have the right identity, it's probably because of the inputs. Sorry, this is so ugly, what have I done? So you might have been working out badly, or maybe you just got to the point where you've plateaued, or you've made a mistake, you needed a deload week and you just kept training, so you've overtrained. But either way, this is the equation that will get you to where you want to go. If you want to get jacked, I'm obviously not that jacked, but I've only just realised this equation, and I made this myself. There's probably other versions of it, or it's actually probably already a thing. But if you want to get jacked, fix your identity, fix your limiting beliefs, then stick to your inputs, which are working out, eating clean, sleeping, and doing recovery activities. And if you wait enough time, you will get to where you want to. I hope this video has helped. Leave a comment down below if it has, and if you have any questions or anything, I will respond to every single one individually, because I'm a nice guy. Anyway, subscribe as well if you did enjoy, and if you are a skinny, inconsistent guy who wants to get absolutely jacked in the best shape of his life, feel confident, if you're a skinny guy who is weaker than all his friends and you have a bad physique and you want to just gain some confidence around people and actually become the person that you know you can get to, book a call down below and I'll see if you're the right fit for me to coach you to get to where you want to. But if not, have a great day, and I'll probably see you in the next video, hopefully. Otherwise, have a great day and just enjoy the rest of your life, because I'm never going to see you again. I don't know why I'm ending it like this. But anyway, goodbye.